Okay, welcome to the Weathertech International Challenge with Brian Redman and the 55th Formula Ford anniversary vintage race. I'm running my Lola T340 1974 Formula Ford in the race for 73 to 81 Formula Fords. Green flag, and we're down to turn one, and guys on the inside they're right there, and the third place guy tries to run up between the two of us. I'm able to hold my momentum around the outside. That's the pole sitter who's in front of me. We run down to turn three. He is going to check up a little earlier than I thought. I kind of locked up a little bit, but I was able to get a good run coming off the corner. So we're gonna run up on him, draft up, make the pass under the Sargento Bridge and down this long straightaway. So let me tell you a little more about the lap around Road America. This is one of the three top speed straightaways, 125, 130 miles an hour, down to a first gear corner here. That's the slowest corner on the track. In the lead, I'm going to focus on trying to get good, clean runs through the corner and not really mess up a corner from the lead of the race. That was turn 6 through turn 7, fast third gear right-hander, briefly to fourth gear, then all the way back down to first gear for this left-hander turn 8. The track is 4 miles long, one of the longest we run on. This is in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Now we're into the long 180 degree, more than 180 degree, third gear left-hander called the carousel. I'll come off of that up into fourth gear towards the infamous kink. The kink is a fourth gear top speed right hand corner with walls on both sides. It's barely doable without lifting, and if you make a mistake there, it can get really expensive. Again, top speed down to Canada Corner, turn 12, second gear. And you run slightly uphill through here. There's a blind left-hander in third gear, turn 13. And you got a little extra room on the right over that white line. Into turn 14, last corner on the course. And I use all of the road right there to keep my foot down and get a good exit off of the corner. Back up the front straightaway, and there's your lap of Road America. I had a couple of issues I had to deal with in the weekend, running real high temperatures on my cooling system, and my brakes would fade and get soft on me. The brake problem was because I had dialed in way too much rear bias, and it was burning up my rear brakes, and then when I would try to use the rear brakes hard, the rears would lock up and the car would get really twitchy under braking, and that caused me some issues. It was hard to really contest braking zones and go deep into a corner to either defend or try and take a position. So we're headed back down. I'm still in the lead. One lap later, down to turn 5. There's that red car behind me. But what you're about to see, he's going to get past. And there's the yellow nose of the Eagle Formula Ford, driven by Reed Acree this weekend, owned by Jacques Drisang. And the Eagles were built by Dan Gurney's All-American racers. They're somewhat rare. Made about 12 of them, I think, whereas I made like 120 Lolas like mine. So Reed's looking for a way past, and I know he's back there, and I'm thinking at some point I won't mind letting him past. I know how fast he is. He's a Wisconsin racer. He knows his track probably better than anyone. Has won a lot of Formula Ford races here, and I figure if I can follow him, there's a chance we can put a gap on the rest of the field. So through Thunder Valley here, he's in my draft, and he's going to get a good run on me, and I'm going to point him by, back off just a little bit, give him a clean run into Canada Corner. Now I want to get in his wheel tracks and see if we can maybe break away a little bit. So we're up into turn 13, and here's that access road on the right that you let your car run out there to use that extra pavement. Back onto the front straight. I did a really good job on 14 this lap. Had a little bit of draft on him, but I decided I'm gonna breathe, let the car get out in the air a little bit, get some fresh air to the radiators, not make the pass. Behind me, the red car is being replaced by a black car. Black car is a Dulon Formula 4 driven by Jesse Jurgensen, another local racer who is very fast around this track. So I'm with Reed. We're headed down to turn 3, and I really muff the shift and blow my corner here, and that gives Jesse the opportunity to slip on past me on the right. I let him know that I see him there, and I'm going to tuck in behind him and cut the red car off so that I'm sort of holding my position in line. Back down to turn 5, first gear. On this lap I run off onto those rumble strips that are really pretty rough, and you don't want to be there if you can help it. Up through turn 6. Under the Corvette bridge. A little loose through 7 for some reason on that lap. And you see the red cars in my mirrors behind me, and we get down to turn 8, and at the last second he really dive bombs in on the braking. He's a West Coast racer. His name is Rick Hill, and I'm glad he trusted me that much. I'm not sure I would have done the same with someone I did not know and have never raced with. But there you go. He made the pass, and he's out in front. So we're going to run through the kink again. That lap I was seeing about 6,200 RPM, maybe a little more. That's a good 115 mile an hour through that corner. Up front, Jesse is making a pass on Reed in the Canada corner. And I'm right with these guys. There's another red car behind me, also a West Coast racer. I don't remember what that guy's name is. Into 14 and back onto the front straight, and a lot of laps I fell back a little bit going up the hill. I don't know really why I wasn't getting as good a run up the hill. So the dark red car right here is going to make the pass on me. He got in my draft and passes me into turn 1. I believe it's a Royale Formula Ford. Down to turn 3, and this time I don't mess up the corner. A little bit loose off. It's a little bit of a gap to the cars in front of me. It's not something I'm concerned about. I don't mind the car getting a little bit more air to the radiators. Even with the dodgy brakes, I knew I could make up ground under braking and into the corner like I do right here. At this point, these 4 guys are all together. I'm not concerned about that. I'm close to the front, and hopefully I'll have a chance to make up some positions. But through here, there's not much I can do about any of that. Back down to turn 8, and that's the bright red car locking up his brakes into 8. He was pushing pretty hard. And then the dark red car, I guess these guys know each other, and he tries to get to the inside through the carousel, and I thought that was pretty dicey. It didn't work. I don't think it was ever going to work. But that gave the front 2 cars a little bit of a gap, and that's a theme that continues throughout the rest of the race. and really left the front two cars to get away and take the first and second positions. So they're going to swap positions again here, with the red car using all of the road and then some to complete that maneuver. And the bright red car using every bit of that access road on the exit of 13. So I'm watching them and I'm thinking, boy, they're both pushing pretty hard, and I'm wondering if maybe at some point they'll make a mistake, one or both of them, and something I can take advantage of. Now here I've started to follow the bright red car, but I'm not close enough to make that work. And the white car was very good at the end of the front straight. And I tried to out-brake him, but that is where that rear brake bias got to me. It was actually a really sketchy moment with the car right there. At this point, I'm thinking I really just need to settle down. More important to bring a clean, pretty race car home than to gain a certain position on the track. So I'm going to sit back and watch these guys go at it for a while and get settled in. And again, I can make up some ground here. I'm right with them again. They go almost 3 wide headed up to turn 6. So that gives me a good run through turn 6, but there's really nowhere to go, nothing to do with it. But I'm right back on. Down through turn 8, and again the two red cars are really racing each other hard. We had hot, humid weather. It was beautiful, but it was quite hot, quite humid. Another thing I'll point out is people will comment on my hand position. I tend to move my hands around on the steering wheel instead of keeping them at 10 and 2. It's not the classic technique by any stretch. It is very unusual. It's something that is completely unconscious. I don't think about what I'm doing. Before I had video, I didn't even know I did this. But it's completely natural and subconscious for me. I don't recommend anyone try to copy it. It's how I drive. It's not how anybody else drives. And it works for me. So, here we are back onto the front straightaway. This lap, I got a good exit off of 14. I actually get into the draft of this white car. I pull up and I have some momentum, but once again he is really good at the end of the front straight, and I can't really challenge him under braking, so gotta let him have that one right back. Through turn 1. And I'm hoping that we're not going to lose contact with the two red cars. And they have somewhat lost contact with the front two guys. Again, I'm not concerned about a little gap here. I'm letting the radiators breathe as much as they can. And I know, once again, there are parts of the track where I'm going to make up ground. I'm not so far back that I'm going to lose touch with these guys. And again, this time they stayed in line, and when they stay in line, they start to catch the front two again. Now, I was really loose through 6 right there. A little bit sideways, and that gave them a few car lengths. At that point, I thought, I need to push to get back up on them, because if that gap got any bigger, it would start to become a problem. So, they helped me out here by doing their side-by-side through the carousel again. And I was really quite good through the carousel and the kink. And This time they're all over each other through the kink, and I get a huge run on them. The white car is going to come across to the left. I use that in the draft to go to the right and get out. He's got a draft on the red car, and that's going to help him out. He's not going to give this up easily, so I have to go all the way deep into the braking zone. Video jumped just a little there, but in front of the white car now, chasing the two red cars, thinking I've got past one, maybe I can work my way past the others, or if they take themselves out, that puts me in third place. I keep talking about that, but I have to tell you, they really were racing each other pretty darn hard. Down the front straightaway, and let's see, do they try and go into turn one? Oh yeah, the white car with that really good top end speed and really good entry speed into turn one. It wasn't just his top end speed, he was really good with his entry into turn one. Gets the position right back on me again. So back to sixth place we are. At this point, we're on the last lap, so I'm working on staying a little bit closer to take advantage of anything that might happen in front of me here. I'll look to the inside, but I'm not quite there, and he covers it off, so nowhere to go through 5. And the two red cars go wide out of turn 5, and I'm right up there with him, hoping there's going to be an opportunity here somewhere. But then again, I'm also thinking, if they're all over each other, I don't want to be caught up in something that they create. So going into turn 8 and watch the two red cars, and boom, contact. And they got away with it, didn't bend anything, didn't throw each other off the track. But once again, I'm thinking, unless there's an easy opportunity, I'm going to watch these guys real close. Through the kink, I'm right with them. I've got a draft, but really nowhere to go. So I'm going to back off and brake just a touch early for the final corner here. The white car is out of position. He misses the corner, gives me the opportunity, and I retake 5th place. So chasing these two red cars, both West Coast racers. Almost a little moment going into turn 14 there. Head up the hill, and I'm going to finish 5th place. I'm pretty happy with that. It was a good race. Thanks for watching.